Alright, this is part 2 of the two-part tutorial for Lowpoly character modeling, rigging, and we'll touch on anime. So, one thing to keep in mind is this is R13 right now. 14 has crashed and won't open. Don't know why. It's very, very early in the R14 stage. Don't hold it against it. It's a new program, so or a new release. They always have bugs like that, and it just may be my computer. But anyways, here is the character we have so far. It's really weird, but we're gonna go ahead and get on the rigging. So we're going to go ahead and you need the character module for this. So let's drop this down and Darcy. Let's move this over. Let's right click, show, let's get text, make that go away. Icon size, medium. We're just gonna get this joint tool. Hit F3 to get to the front view, or right view actually. Front view is actually not what we want. We should, whoa, Siri going, or dictation, sorry, not Siri. Don't have Siri on a Mac. Let's go ahead and move this 90 degrees, and then make sure our front is, oh, thank you, okay. Let's not use you. Thank you. Okay, what we're gonna do is we're gonna start, actually, let's go for the right view. Let's put it down right here. I want the root to control from this loop selection up to this loop selection minus the mouth. Then I want a control right here for these arms, but I also want it to control up here, and then right here for this loop, and this control for the head and this there. So if that's not controlled by this one, I can't remember what I said about that. Next, back to the joint right here, the root, and let's add another one here, here. Let's actually add that one right here and right here. Okay. And now there's complex ways to go ahead and add joints right here as well, and you could do that figuratively speaking, but we're not going to in this one. We're going to keep it really. And let's move that back up. Okay, let's go ahead, go to the front view, grab this joint system, which is the leg, and move it over. We want to move it 25 centimeters to the right. Actually, let's move it 24, just for the heck of it. Okay, 23 centimeters. Fun stuff. Okay, now, let's call that L underscore hip, L underscore thigh, L underscore knee, L underscore ankle, L underscore toe. We have the option, because of how much geometry is in this thing. Oh, I love R13, how you can actually see the lines when it's selected. One thing I don't like about R14, the outline, but personal. Anyways, we could add a joint right here. Keep the joint right, and add another one, which I guess we'll do right here. So we will add that as a bottom part of the toe. This will be left foot, and then we'll have left toe. And what that will give us is a on the foot right here, which will be very helpful for animation. Alright, we have our spine and our leg. Let's go ahead, top view, and create. By the way, what I'm doing, I probably should do this, holding command. Oh no, wait, you should be able to see this actually. Screen flow, lovely. Holding command, you can go ahead and just create these. So, but you should know that. Command and click. So let's do a collarbone. Let's actually move that back a bit. Let's move it right. No, let's move it right there. Then we'll have our shoulder, elbow, wrist, hand 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we'll just keep these all on the line. And select all and scale them to a 0. Let's go up to this right here. Select all of these, scale them to 0. They're all flat, but don't scale it. Whoops. Don't scale it 100%. Scale it on the for the legs. You want to scale on the x-axis, and for the arms, you want to scale on the z-axis because you want to access them. So let's go ahead and back into the front view. Back up, and we will bring it down 1 centimeter. Okay, now what we can do is let's get rid of these null objects. It can be useful in some cases, but I don't want them. Let's name this. Okay, L underscore collar bone, L underscore shoulder, L underscore elbow, L underscore wrist, L underscore and 1, and then we'll just copy that and paste and change the number at the end. And now that we've done that, we have a nifty little tool right here where we can just select these right here and hit the joint mirror tool, and we go into naming, replace L underscore with R underscore, hit for the naming, and then we mirror world local X Y Z axis like that, and then we hit mirror, and it has a perfect mirror. So now we have the left collarbone and the right collarbone. Let's call this spine 1 right here. Let's call this root up here. Let's get rid of this root null object up there. Alright, I hope you can see everything so far. Should be working out well. Let's put this all under our character, by the way. Eyes and the teeth, put it up above. I want this to all be down below. Oh, this should actually be under the character, not the hypernerves. Okay, now we have this. And let's go ahead and mirror the left hip. And settings are already set, so that's good. So actually, minus the face, we're completely mirrored now. So what we can do is add the facial rig after we finish spine 2 and spine 3, and under spine 1 we're actually going to make a joint from above, and we're going to call it face. I don't really reference anything, it's just, it won't control anything, necessarily. We just want to zero out the X, and go right here. And just have a joint that everything in the face can be based off of. Let's have it right here, I guess, right about there. Okay, and now we're going to duplicate it and place under it eyes, and then duplicate that and move that down and call that mouth. And this is not, I mean, there is an art to this and a science to it. So the way you do this is completely up to you, but this is how I'm doing this currently. So Just take this as an idea and run with it in your own way. So let's move eyes and mouth back actually just a bit. Under eyes, we can actually do eyes and move it under it and move it 20 or so centimeters to the right, and then duplicate that and 40 centimeters to the left. And now we will see. Actually, let's just position this guy and then we'll duplicate it. So L_I, not duplicate, mirror. So if our eye is right there, I want this right here, right behind it. So what that will do is give us where it's close, and we can control it based on this position and rotation. We will rotate and reposition this joint, so we need to keep that in mind. Okay. I think I'm pretty happy with that. Right there. And let's go ahead and mirror. And then let's get the mouth. We're going to get an upper jaw and a lower jaw. And this is how I rigged my character, so completely up to you how you rig these guys. Let's get the upper jaw right up here and the lower jaw right down here. Let's actually go into the side view. This will be a little better if we actually know what we're doing. A lower jaw to actually be below. Let's move the mouth back a bit. And lower jaw I want to go right there. Upper jaw I want to go there. The jaw would actually be right around here. Maybe if we move them forward a bit. Okay. We'll call that good for now. Let's go ahead and look at the front view, make sure everything looks good. Okay, good. Now we get the fun of going into the display shading, garage shading. I don't know how to pronounce that. But we add the lines to it. So let's go ahead and let's see. We want to create joints to control these 5 lines right here for the mouth, and then we will rig the eyes after that. So let's move the upper jaw up, and we will do left. Whoops. Inner left, and then we'll duplicate these. Actually, let's not. Let's just duplicate one of them and call them center. And we will move this guy down until it reaches right about there, actually. Right on that line. So let's move all of them right there. And then move inner left over 18 or so centimeters, and then okay. And I think that's actually it right there. And we want these to be all children of the mouth object, like such. In this case, I mean, you could do a joint stream that goes from here to here to here instead of out like this, but it's not how I want to do it in this particular case. So let's grab these two and mirror them, and we will replace left with right and mirror, and inner right and right. Okay. Next, let's duplicate these and, whoops, drag them under lower jaw and move down. And I think if we move them in until they're 10, that will actually put us right where we want to be. Actually, that was pretty sure almost perfect. So let's get rid of the right and just do that in this case, but we want to move it back in right to the corner right there. And it doesn't have to be perfect, I don't think. It just helps if it's close. So let's grab left and mirror it right. So now we have our mouth rigged. And what we'll do is we're going to have these 4 teeth, all children of this joint right here, the upper jaw. So they will all move with the jaw. You could create controls for each tooth and move them around a special spline with a Bezier curve and have them follow that. You could use express point indexes, but we'll keep it simple, you know. Make sure it's fun. Let's go ahead and make some layers also. Let's name it character. Let's do joints. Let's do what is it called? Skin, I think. Yeah. And we'll make skin a child and joints a child of character. We'll do mouth. Whoops. Gotta type that properly. Let's look at the time. Okay, not bad. Eyes. And body. Controls. And then we will make child of controls. It will be mouth controls. And eye controls. Body controls. Arm controls. And leg controls. And we will select the 3 of the or 5 of these, and I'm just gonna make them all perfect white in this other case. I really don't like that yellowish green. It looks really gross. Let's make the eyes kind of bluish. The beak can be dark bluish. Okay, mouth can be, let's say we have a tongue or something, we can make it look like that. Then these all go under here. Joints go right there. And we're gonna make one called Xpresso. Because we might end up using a little bit of Xpresso in our rig. Actually, we will use some Xpresso in our rig, and we might want to be able to hide that. So, last one. Double text. This is textures and materials. And we're going to grab all of these. Oops. And right click. Add to layer, character, text. Actually, let's name this Reels. Okay, now that we're done with that, let's go ahead and grab, so these are all still just joints and we don't have any controls placed in here yet. We don't have to worry about these. So let's go to the bottom, make sure they're all visible, bring them back to the top, select all, right click, joints, okay. Character can be these, character, body. Actually, let's make these character. body is actually body controls. This is the body right here. So actually, yeah, these are character body. Okay. I like staying nice and organized. Let's call these teeth or and eyes. And this way, when you're working, you can just turn off eyes and mouth in here, and you don't have to see, don't have to worry about them. But you can turn them back on just out of nowhere, just really easily. Let's add this to character. Now everything has a label, minus the tags. Oh, I don't want to label those right now. Okay, they're fast and easy. Let's do it now before we change it. So, anyways, it's a lot of work to do all of this stuff, but you know, it's worth it because you get a really like reusable character. Use it for whatever you'd like, you know. Collarbone, bone, spine. Okay. Now we get to go into the eye controls. So, eyes. Okay, left and right. Let's go ahead and really quick make sure our eyes are visible. So let's just actually get rid of view of everything but the eyes. So I don't want to see joints or controls. And I don't actually know why I'm seeing any of these right now. I think they might be selected. So what we need to do now is go ahead and polygon select these. And we need to split them. So let's see if I have a splitting script actually. Huh, I don't have it installed. My friend Charles Roland, Raging Claw on Twitter, created a perfect plugin that was handy, but I don't have it. So we've selected all those. We can just move it to the side, delete it. Ooh, didn't do that right. Let's Control Z. Make sure. Oops. We select all of them right here. Yep, they're all selected. Right click and split. Then we move. Oh, I missed one. Oh, the joys of missing these. Okay, this is all of them. Split, move to the side. And moving it to the side is a good way to know that you've missed one. So let's center the all of these. Mesh, axis center 2, and just it's the top one. So now that we have those, select both of these, go to mode, select all, optimize, okay, object mode, select both, axter, okay, now they both have their axes centered. Now we got to do the same thing with pulse. So let's go ahead into polygon mode. These are really detailed pupils. We could do so much less than this, probably done less polygons, but you know what, we'll be okay. If you wanted to, you could just select these right here and select melt and just do this the entire way across and just manually do, but we're not going to do that in the tutorial because obviously don't want to waste all that time. We could be rigging and animating. So we've got that all selected. Let's right click, split, move to the side. We've got everything. Okay, select of them, select all, optimize. Okay, now center the axis. Now once again that is under mesh, axis center. There we go. Okay, so this is right pupil, left pupil, right eye, left eye. Put the pupils under the eyes and make everything else come back in the view. now that we have these separate objects, nice and handy. And get rid of this. Characters. Oh, no. Delete without children. Okay. Fun. Okay. So we are ready to create the bones for the eyes. Okay. So what we're going to do is go ahead and just go to the top view. Right here. And we're going to go to the face, eye, eyes, eye. Okay. Create 1, 2, 3. And get rid of this null object. It's handy sometimes, but really in this case I could care less. And move them up. In, out. Let's grab all 3 of them. Remember, it doesn't have to be perfect, but I am a perfectionist, so we'll try to get close. And that we will good. So we'll call this brow 1, brow 2, and brow 3 for the eyebrow. Zoom out. Let's bring this guy in. Whoops, wrong one. And very soon here we're going to want to select in. Let's just do it after we position this guy. And just reset the position scalation. So let's let's just go ahead and unfold all, select everything, go to attributes, coordinates, freeze transformations, all. Okay, good. And we'll close eyes and upper teeth. We will close the upper jaw, left collarbone, right collarbone, left hip, right hip, spine, mouth, and that's good. Okay, let's just take these top ones right here, bring them down, duplicate them, bring them down a bit, and bring them forward, and position them. So we have lower 1, lower 2, and lower 3. And you could use just to be a little cleaner, like lower left, or left lower eye, or left lower eye 2, or left lower eye right, left lower eye center, left lower eye left. So totally up to you. It's more organized, but completely depends on how detailed you want to get. Okay, now let's get this last guy and we will mirror them and start weight mapping, which, by the way, totally intimidated me the first few times I did it, but we're gonna just do some simple weight mapping and wing it all with 100%. Every weight map is gonna be at 100%, so let's go ahead and do this. Okay, there we go, and those are all going to your right eye. Okay, so let's actually rename all of these R. Shortcuts make everything easier. Until you start scrolling. Okay. We have all of these. Let's select this. Go down on every one of these. You have to be able to select all of the joints. Okay. So, in this particular case, you could just hit this eye right here. Go to Objects and select them all. Then close the eye. That's what we'll do. And then after that, Command clicker. Object mode, okay. And then commands, bind. So we'll just keep it simple like that. And we can actually we can start moving this around. The eyes and mouth have not been placed, but our root controls our character. If we move our spine forward and back, it works. You can see that the rig is, well, the weight maps are just a little off. We can move the whole face. I don't even want that joint to control anything, so we'll go ahead and do that. Oh dear. I might have positioned all of these wrong. Yes, I grabbed the wrong ones. So we're going to delete the skin object and the weight, and yeah, instead of just do a few times, just so you know how it works. At least that's my understanding. So let's, I love renaming. Oh, so much cleaner. Okay, good. So let's select this, shift select the bottom joint. Yes, there are a ton of joints for this low poly character, but them all. So, go ahead and stretch my back. Been sitting here for a few hours, not moving my back doesn't really feel great. Go ahead, click character. Now this is not by any means a physically accurate. This won't work with a character that you want to look like realistic and lifelike, but it's for a quick hack and animation. For professional work. Up to you if you use it. But the point is to introduce you to low poly modeling, rigging, animating, and just showing you what I have learned over the past week. Now that we've gotten this all done, let's go ahead and rotate. Okay, good news. It all is terrible. Okay, so what we're going to do is go to this tool right here, character weight tool. Okay, select root. We're going to click on the weight tool, go to 100% hardness at 100%, and it'll be add, and that is all we're going to do. And what did we say? Right here, all of these. We're going to control all of this. What we're just doing is painting on weight maps. So, and we control this line right here. And paint everything, even if it's already been painted over, because if you don't, it might only have a percentage of it actually controlled, and then some controls might actually have no control and get stuck in XYZ space, zeroed out. So let's get this bottom ring right here. Now, the root will control and move everything, but if you rotate anything, the root actually is what they look to for this portion. It controls this point up, also at these points. It doesn't control these, and it does these up here. Those are just gradients moving off. So, then we will go to the spine 1, and it will control. Let's go ahead, do this. I was saying something else. I kind of went off on another tangent. Sorry, I've been one of those days where I'm completely and utterly unable to finish a thought. So, gotta love those days. Alright, I'm also, so that helps with the whole distraction portion. We're just gonna go ahead and, as you can see, weight map all of these, whoops. And what we're doing over here, arms, is we're getting the outermost point, but we're not going into the actual extrusion. Just that point right there, not over here. Just to be clear. And it's good. Now we go to the next spline point, and oh, actually this top spline should control right up here as well. One more row up. And we will end up painting all the other weights, so this orange up here will no longer be there, like how we had red, not there anymore because we just painted over it. If we go to spine up top, it inherits all of these controls right here. Totally optional. You can skip this bottom portion, this bottom line right here, and just go straight to this one. The way I'm doing it right now is like such. So, anyways, and be able to mirror weight maps as well, but we're just gonna weight map in this particular case. So, bear with me. Let's do the left collarbone, and the way I'm gonna do this is, it's gonna get to the inner part right here. And actually, it will also get control right here. I know we painted over that with the root, or actually with the spine, but I want to control for that, for all of this portion right in here, to the collarbone. Okay, now the shoulder gets these two edge loops right here. And we could have added more geometry, but what we have right here will certainly suffice, and it'll be a whole lot easier for weighting, as you can see, just having 4 points, rotate once, and you get all 4 covered. So next, the wrist, we're gonna go ahead and get all of these until it actually extrudes out. So and then we go to the hand, and what we get is this one edge loop. Hand gets this edge loop. Hand gets this edge loop and the last edge loop. We don't technically need this last piece, but it is a nice visual point, and if you add IK to something like the hand, you do need it. But we aren't adding IK controls to a hand. That overkill. We're just going to use FK controls, which means we're going to rotate. So let's fix our view. Mirror the weights manually. So let's just get these 2 edge loops out here. This one and this one. And this one and this one. Let's look at our time. Okay. So I'm going to finish this arm. Alright, I have finished the weight mapping over here, which you can see right here. So basically, if we rotated, say, our shoulder, it's going to rotate the entire arm. If we hit our elbow, though, it's going to rotate right here, like that. And if we did a 50% control, or a smoothed out control, say right there, and of this edge loop with this joint and that joint, it wouldn't form like that as much, but we're gonna just keep this for now. So let's go back to the weight map tool and go down to the left hip and start there. So let's go back to the root actually, and have the root control all of this under here. I will show you how we're going to give the controls to the leg, and we will give the controls to the legs in the proper way that will be decent. Just give me a moment. Okay, so what we have now are controls for the root on the bottom, so bottom of the character. Let's go ahead and go to the left hip and control right here, right there, and right there. Go to the left thigh, get the same edge, the two edge loops, right? This one and this one. And again, this one and this one. This one and this one. And what that gives you is control thigh. Let's go ahead and get the knee. And the way these joints work are, it's nice the way it works. It will, probably should have made a heel control. Whatever joint is mapped to a point, if they're all 100%, the point actually live in reference in the scene to where your current joint is positioned. So if it starts like right here, and we get this joint, which moves this joint, and will move these polygons which are mapped to this joint. So sense, but that's how it works. And we will go ahead and test this roll, or toe roll. Does that deformation look with? Not bad actually. If we do that and just do this, it's not perfect. In fact, it's really weird, but it certainly will work. The feet look strange, so that was the modeler's fault. So we'll just blame the person that wait a second. Okay, so now we over here. Weight map. I'll pause while I do this. Alright, so now I have the entire character rigged. Let's go ahead and move his foot a bit. Okay. Let's bend his knee. It differs rather well. It seems. Can't actually tell perfectly from it. I'm not too worried about it. We need to rig his face and his eyes. We need to put his teeth under his upper jaw. So let's go under face, upper jaw, just drop it in there. Eyes need to go under the perspective eyes. So let's go right eye under right eye, and left eye under left eye. And delete that null object and just place those. Okay, so if we grab the and move them around, yes, that works. Okay, so let's go ahead and weight map the mouth and the face, and we will then call it good with weight mapping, and add some controls and some rigs, and we're gonna probably reach about an hour and a half with our tutorial. We're actually let's try and keep it just over an hour, maybe hour and 15 minutes. Completely forget about doing the animation in this. We'll do a separate tutorial with that. So let's go open upper jaw. We will do the mouth first. So what I want is the weight map tool. Okay, let's get into layers. We need to go up to the spine one. Okay, it needs to control here, and root needs to control there, which it does. So okay, upper jaw. Okay, I need to make sure I don't see the mouth, eyes, or in this case, I'd actually really rather not see. And let's grab the upper jaw, get in here, and paint in the back. I want full control of the entire upper jaw painted in, and we will paint over that accordingly in just a moment. Okay, right. Oops, let's get these first two. Inner right, center, left, left, lower jaw. Okay, let's get the inner right. Let's actually realign these. Let's do left, okay, right. Let's right, and we get these out, these 2 points out here. And again, we're just getting the edge loops that we've created. And left. Okay. Now that is rigged. And let's go ahead and test it. Let's do it with the hyper nerves on and turn off that. Okay. And left. Okay, good. That works for now. Off hyper nerves again. And let's go to the right eye. The left eye. As you can see, it's weight mapped right here. I want full controls given to the right eye, or left, of every polygon in here until we actually start breaking in and doing the according brow. So let's, whoops. I think we are getting 3 edge loops. Let's, oh, there, okay. So what we want are these 2 edge loops right here, and leave the rest. So there you go. The right eye. Right brow. Right brow center. Okay. Next brow. Getting almost done here, guys. We're going to add some, because weight mapping is by far the most boring thing on the planet. Okay. In Cinema 4D, I think, actually. Maybe not on the planet. You could always watch paint dry. You know. Whatever you like. So now, we get the luxury of making sure that all of these joints are on the right layers. Some joints, okay. Not sure the mouth is set yet. Okay, it's not down there, but up here. I reverse this. It's not up here, it is down there. Okay. I want to hide all the joints. Actually, let's unfold everything and hide all the joints. See what the hierarchy is so far. Okay. And I really just want to keep the skin option. So let's go ahead and add to layer, joints, skin. Okay. Now we get the fun job of adding control. So I'm going to keep it simple with circles rectangles, and some null objects for controls. So let's keep these. Let's say 20 for the circle, 10 for the circle, and 20 for the rectangle for now, just for the scale, and keep it at that for now. Let's start with the overall character. Let's drop a copy of the center of the root, and XZ, make it a ring, and make it 140 and 150. Actually, let's do 130. And we'll hit position that so that it is zeroed out. Oh, actually, let's go ahead and really quickly take everything, freeze, transformation. Very important right there. Back to the object. Let's zero it out. PSR reset. So let's go ahead and we don't need this anymore. We're gonna go to point mode, hit the circle. It's reset, so hit C, hit R, hit Command A, select everything. So we get all those points, hit 90 degrees, and move it down about 100 degrees, or centimeters. And then we had a rotational problem. So, well, not necessarily a problem, just how it ended up being. So if we want, actually we can not do that. Let's unfreeze the circle. Actually, let's take this. Let's go 90 minus this. Okay, 1.878 on the P. 1.878. Okay. Plus 90. Actually, no. Actually, 90 plus 1.878. Okay. No, not minus. Okay. I'll explain what I'm doing here in a second. Plus 0.878. Okay. Oh, duh. 91.878. Okay. So it is positioned directly in the center of the root. Now we will select all of these again and move it down 180 centimeters. Put it right there where we want it on the base, and the control is actually still right there. So let's freeze the transformation so it doesn't think it's rotated. So let's take all of these, freeze all again. So now if we select this, it will, let's call it the root underscore controller. You might as well just copy underscore controller because we're going to be using it a lot. Let's go ahead and grab spine 1, and we will drag a copy of our rectangle underneath that, reset it, and okay, let's do XY, XZ, okay, XZ, and we want the control to be, let's say 30 by 30, and well, let's go ahead and make sure it's frozen. Yep, hit C, and point mode, and move it out. 150 centimeters is good. Spine 1 controller. And we can drop the spine underneath that. And let's, as we make these, select these controllers and add them to the necessary layers. So where are we on time? We are at just an hour. Having a lot of fun here. Okay. We will hold off on this for now. We'll do collarbone. So let's drag a copy of our null object under the collarbone and reset the position. Let's make it a cube under object display 30 and XZ. Let's 20. And 25. Okay. And let's call that left or collar bone controller. Move it up, collarbone underneath it. And I will create the shoulders for you on this side and then do the other side while I pause the recording. So let's do shoulder. Reset the position. And go. Okay. 40, 40. Okay. Actually, that's perfect right there. So left shoulder controller. Hit C. And actually, let's delete this collarbone controller, and we will do it a different way. I found actually that I like doing it like this. Can't see it right now. There, perfect. Okay. 40 by 40, and it is centered out. And what we do now is select all of the points and move it to the back. And now we have the control right there for collarbone, and the shoulder controls are right there. So now let's grab this, call it left collarbone. Save it. I'm going to copy what I just did and do that same thing for the rest of the arm. I'm going to do circles for the hand, rectangles for the arm, and then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, and then we'll move down. Really quick, what I've done here is I've added all of these, and then I colored them by, let's see. What I did was I dropped it down and made them all. Dropped down the collarbone controller, and then hid the joints in the hierarchy using the layer browser, and selected all of the corresponding colors. Went to attributes, basic, use color, turned it on, and I want to have this on for everything, so every controller, so on, and then I picked a color for all of the arm, and the side is red and the right side is blue in this character, or going to be at least. And the centered out, the stuff on the center will be white. So the spine, white. The eye controls will be red and blue. The mouth, overall, the full mouth, which you will have control of this joint, will be white. The top one will be yellow and the bottom one will be, I don't know, pink or like that. It will depend on what I feel like doing then. And then we'll have all of these be red, these be blue, and same with the legs. So we'll get there. Let me pause again and just making controls for this side. Then we will do some of the leg, and I'll do the rest of those. Well, let's pause. Alright, so what I've got here now is I've mirrored, well, kind of mirrored, the joints to the other side. What we have are controls now to, well, start this guy around. And it's basically a simple parent and child relationship. We have the controller as the parent and the joint as the child. And then underneath that is the child of that joint of the elbow, say, in this case, is the control of the wrist, which then has a child of the actual wrist. And it keeps on going down like that. And that is how we can do this. So we can go ahead and position these, we can read these, and if you don't want them, say a person to be able to, like an animator to be able to, did I just copy and paste that? I did. Okay. Anyways, if you don't want an animator to be able to go ahead and sorry, trying to think. Don't want them to be able to control, say, the position, just the rotating arms. You can lock the position and the scale, the lock protection tag, but select none for the rotation, and then you can, it actually doesn't allow you to select the control, but you can rotate. So totally up to you. I'm not going to do that in this case, but I've also added this spine right here. I've added the rest of the spines, so we can easily move it back and front, forward and back, forward and, anyways, left, right, up, down, that whole thing. Now we're going to add controls for the bottom of the character, for the hips. So let's start with a null object, in this case, is what I want. Actually, you know what? We're not going to use any null objects, we're just going to use rectangles and circles for this one. It's better for your own controls that look nice. I mean, just having a character with rectangles and spheres is pretty, but I mean, you can use text, and text splines work just fine, but in this case we're going to just use these because it's quick and dirty and it works. So need to reset the position, scale, and rotation. Let's go ahead and change it to ZY and 30 by 30, which is for the spine. Hit C, and let's rename it real quick. Left on hip controller. And let's see, it's the left side that's red, so make it red, go to point mode, select all, and drag it out 150. Okay, that works. And let's drag in, oh dear, that was my rectangle. Okay, let's just do 20 by 20, okay, there. Let's do a control for all of these, actually, with just rectangles. Actually, let's do spheres for the, or circles for the bottom too. So these will be, let's select all of these splines right now, and reset the position, scale, and rotation. And the last circle is fine. The second to last one I want to be fiend. Okay. And then the rest of these I want to be 25 by 25. And the control is there. I do want this control to be wider than that. I want it to be 35. Okay. I'll show you why in a bit. And let's go ahead, name these real quick. Left thigh controller, left knee controller. Stepped away from the microphone a minute ago. I didn't actually realize that. Not sure I did. Kind of do a recording with this big black thing in front of your face. It's worth it. And these are all going to be red. See. And the position. And there we go. Now we're going to grab the thigh and the ankle and go to character. And we're going to do commands, I think, create IK chain. So what that gives us is a goal. Goals, okay. And then we're going to copy this and call it aim. Let's take the goal and get a cube. Let's make it red. Back to the cube settings. 25 will work, and XZ. Oh, that's massive. Okay, 15 will be more than plenty. In fact, let's just go with 10. And we can change the aspect ratio to 1.5. And we're going to take the aim and move it forward, say 150 centimeters and up 100 centimeters. No, just make it a sphere and XZ as the coordinates. Once again, let's select everything, freeze regions. And the aim, let's set it as 1 and red. And go back down to this, tag on the thigh, and the pole vector, right here, object will be right here. So whichever direction this points, it will point. So perfect, nice and fun. Now we're gonna copy and paste that, or not paste that. I'm going to redo that after I pause this and turn my music on, so that way I get to listen. You guys don't have to sit here for 2 hours. And do that on the other leg, and then I'll show you how to add some to this guy, and we'll rig the face up just a little bit, and do a little control for the eyes, and then we'll call it good for tutorial and do an animation tutorial next time. So anyways, I will be back in a bit. Alright, and here we are. What we have is both legs set up. We have these null objects in here, and move both of them to control the legs. We could have both of them dance like this if we want them to dance, you know, because that is totally the coolest new way to dance. Don't believe me? Got all the latest clubs. Alright, and now I have put in something called a controller, and it's a square spline that has 2 splines as children, and we are going to make the square spline 30 centimeters tall, and or actually 25 centimeters tall, and 80 wide. Actually, let's 20 centimeters tall. Okay. And then rounding, 2 centimeters, 5 centimeters, that'll work. And then left pupil, let's see, eye controller will go under layer controllers eyes, and actually so will these eye controls. And then let's see, turn on use for all of these. Left pupil will be red, like all left controls are, and right pupil will be blue, like all right controls are. So let's take the right pupil and move it over, say, 20 meters, and the left pupil over 20 centimeters, and set these let's see. Actually, let's make this 25. And let's add an aim constraint to these pupils. Let's make sure they are all hold on a second. No, we'll start with that. Let's go to face. Now the problem with these is I didn't keep the controls for the sphere, which is something I would have liked, but we'll deal. Option, group these. Left pupil, go down, right pupil. And move it back. Last time I did this, it worked at, 40 centimeters, and then push it back up 40 centimeters, okay? And back. It's 30, so 10 more. 40. And then move this up 40, okay? And those parents need to both have, I believe, there's a look at target, actually. And let's go ahead and make the right pupil target I think I have these. Okay. The right pupil target be the right aim, and the left pupil target to be the left pupil aim. Now let's rotate this aim 180 degrees. For some reason it's acting up. Alright, give me a moment. Let's go ahead and take a look at what I've got. I've turned the character onto X-ray, so let's I did not build it right, so whatever I did about the eyes, I guess I did wrong. What you want to do is get this eye to work. What I did was, let's just take the left eye, because I know that works, and drop in a spherify child. Reset the position, scale, and rotation. A parent of the spherify, a disk. 24 rotation segments and outer radius. Reset that. Okay, spherify needs to be plus X, by the way. Spherify needs to move back 100 centimeters, and the radius needs to be 100 centimeters. The disk needs to come out just a smidgen. And spherify needs to be set to 1. Okay. You can drag on the texture for the pupil. And the disk needs to come out. And then let's make a child of the spherify and take that. Actually, the child of the pupil. And we'll make it a null object, move it back 40 centimeters. Pupil controller is the name. And then we will rotate that around. Okay, let's try that again, but let's do it 100 centimeters, so add 60 to what we already had. There we go. There may or may not be a bit of debugging in this. Okay, see, that worked. It's because of the sphere. Okay, so now that we have that, let's copy this eye and paste it, add it for a new null object. Make sure that null object is centered in the scene that you just add to, and -1 for the X, and then delete without children. Drop that left eye under the, or I guess right eye, under the right eye control. Select everything, freeze transformation, and go back into the eyes. You need to both of the pupil controllers target tags. And let's make sure the left pupil controls the left pupil, and the right pupil controller gets the right pupil. And now we get to go and reposition them with these. Okay. Let's rotate each of them on their own individual object axis. Okay, so let's just grab this guy. Rotate 90 degrees. Or, yeah, 90 degrees. Rotate the other guy the opposite direction, -90 degrees. That was 80. Okay, 90. So grab this controller, move it out an extra 30 centimeters, and the other guy out an extra 30. Okay, make the rectangle 140 centimeters, and we'll call that good. Go back to these. 90 was too much, so reconfigure them so 85, or just go back 5 degrees. Actually, make that 10. And now that that's done, we'll call it, move that under the controls. Eye controller. And let's see what happens if we move it really off to the side. Okay, so it'll look, but it won't move the actual white part of the eye, which is good. So, and let's leave this at 100 centimeters. That's the eye control. So now, sorry that took so long. We're going to finalize the rig with the mouth. Yeah, so let's start with a circle and a rectangle. Get both of these, and actually for now we'll just let them sit like that. 20 by 20 for the rectangle and for the radius of the circle. Let's go to the mouth controls. Upper jaw and lower jaw. Okay. And let's start with the overall mouth control. Let's reset the position, scale, and rotation. And X, Y, yep, that'll be good. 20, 15 will be good. I'll call it mouth. Turn on the use color, leave it at white. Hit C, mode, select all, move it forward 100 centimeters. Now let's do the same thing with the upper jaw, except for we're going to use a rectangle. And we're going to do the same with the lower jaw at the same time. So, put them into place. X, Y. .25 by 25. Actually, let's make the width 75 and the height 15. And then we will hit C. And let's turn on the use color, but let's not color yet. Move it forward 30 centimeters. 40 centimeters, okay. And that is good. Let's go ahead and take in the top and bottom points just a bit. This is all visual. Scaling this. Okay. Let's name it the upper jaw controller, and then the lower jaw controller. Place these. Almost done here, guys. And trust me, if you think you're getting tired, it's 1 in the morning. So, been working on this actual tutorial for about 4 hours. A bit more behind the scenes than you've seen. So next, I mean, no complaints, of course. I love doing this stuff. Let's go ahead and create circles for all of the mouths. Let's just take all of these, put circles underneath all of them. Let's grab the upper jaw controllers. We'll turn on use color. We're going to use yellow for this color. And let's just grab the circles. Let's set it to X, Y, and 5 hits. And move them out 10 centimeters. So there you go. And naming them. And then placing them. And the most fun part, adding them to the right layer. Gotta make sure everything has its layer, so. Nice and fun. Okay, you can see all those controls. We're going to add the circle to the rest of these bottoms or joints. And we're going to make it a nice, strong pink color, just for the heck of it. It'll pop really well visually, so that will be convenient to see it when you want to see the controls. Okay, let's hit C and go to point mode, move them out. And again, naming. Oh, I guess I could just add them to layer in here, which means I don't have to right click, which on a walk is not as easy as it should be. Okay, so everything is currently on a layer. It's massive. Okay, almost done. Okay, last portion. So ready done with this, I gotta admit. All right. So for the eye controller, let's see what actually happens. Do I want that? No. Do I want to control these? Yes. So let's grab controls for the left and right eye. Let's go ahead and zero them out and make them 20, 25, and you can kind of see them right there. Let's make them 30. And that's what I want for them. So let's take the one. Actually, let's take both and turn on color, and then left and right. Okay. And and name them accordingly. Left eye control. Right eye controller. Getting real tired here. This is nice and fun. Okay, now last portion, just like what we did with the mouth, or with the lips, I guess. Let's go ahead and zero all of these out. Go to Object, X, Y, X, Z, ZY, 5. Okay. On, these are all red, C, and move them out. And remember, freeze transformation. Now, if you select everything and freeze transformations, and these stay as they are, because you have the target tags down below, and those are in your eye or the pupils, and it's currently 70 degrees and something like 2 degrees at the moment. So those will be consistent and will not freeze, but you don't want them to in that case. So let's go ahead and name them let's name these controllers what their parents are named, and then just add the controller portion as we're doing the whole time. Okay. Okay. Drag them up. Drag it up, drag it up. Select all of these, right click, add to layer, controls, eye control. And let's add this to controls, eye control, and this guy to eye controls. Kind of want over that. Okay, those are finished. And let's get rid of this rectangle here. Add a final circle spline. Make it 5 centimeters and ZY we decided. Turn on the coloring, blue, let's see where we're at, hour and a half. Wow, awesome. Okay, now hit C and select all the points, move them out, just 10 meters is what we did earlier. And let's add them to the layer controls and then name them. Our brow 1 controller, our brow 2 controller, our brow 3 controller, our lower 1 controller, our lower controller, and our lower 3 controller. Okay, now do the whole parent-child relationship thing that you need to do. Careful not to make a controller a child of another controller. That it should. Got pretty close there a few times just now, but I caught it, so we are not stuck like that. It would confuse your controls, and you would have to counter animate, which is not ever fun. So anyways, there, a rigged character. We have a modeled character. It took a lot of work, as you probably may have noticed, but it's done. I'm happy with it. let's go add some Xpresso real quick to do some finishing touches. I want controls for the legs to say A or whether they're FK or IK. So let's say make a group called character controls. Let's add another group, call it body. Add this IK/FK legs and a float slider, a minimum and maximum slider. Okay. Oh, so we're back. And then a boolean for proxy mode, and another slider for the face. This slider is going to be, let's see, real. Pupil size. And we're gonna do a pupil scale for both. So left pupil scale, right pupil scale. So let's set proxy mode default off. Okay, good. And let's go ahead into Xpresso. Let's drag character object and character controls. Let's start with the proxy. Then we'll go to IK legs. And then we'll go to left pupil and right pupil controls. What we need to drag in are the character hypernerves for the proxy. Let's drag that in and say enabled is disabled, I guess. Actually, let's go ahead and right click. Bool not. We need that. So when this it is not enabled. So just to clarify, that works. Let's go ahead and get this hidden. Okay. And then we want the IK controls, the IK tags right here. Let's call this left leg IK and right leg IK. And we've just renamed the tags for organizational reasons. Xpresso things can get really confusing really easily. Let's go to tag properties, IKA. And let's hide the legs. And last one, under spine controls, no, face. Eyes. Okay. We want to go in and grab the pupil. And name them L_pupil. And R_pupil. Just for our organization. And we want to go in and drag these controls onto object properties. Radius. Let's see. Yeah, outer radius. Left pupil, object properties. Right pupil, object properties. Starting to slur my speech a bit. Kind of a sign that it's time to be done. And what better timing than to actually be done with the controls, with the rigging. Let's go ahead and fold this in nicely. Okay. And let's grab these gold controls and put them under the root character. That way if you move the character's root object, the eyes and the constraints move with them. Let's move these out the knee controls, say 50 centimeters each. Whoops. And then we'll go to FK controls and we'll swap between those and it'll move his feet back and forth. Good. Proxy mode. Okay, that works. Let's add a tag to both the character and the hypernerbs. And actually we can add a protection tag to the character tag. So let's also add the Xpresso tag to the Xpresso layer and character to the character layer. So it changed it, so I had to change that. Did that. Now we're good. Go ahead and add these all to the body layer. Actually, let's change this top one to the character layer. And now everything is accordingly set up. Let's go ahead into the layers and make sure we don't see joints anywhere. I don't want to see controls in the hierarchy for anything but the control. And let's hide everything but materials. So that will put us, let's put materials down. Like such. Okay, so here's our character. And goals needs to be set as controls. Body controls, okay. Yep. And then let's go ahead and make sure body controls are all visible. Root controller needs to be set as a character. Oh, not character. Character controls. So let's name this again to character controls. So that way, when everything is hidden, you can actually still see the character controls down here. And if I hide all of these, I can still see this, which is important because I want to always move the character. Looks like I didn't finish with the left or right arm, so let's go ahead and view all of those again. Unfold all, spine, hip, spine, left eye, right eye, collarbone, okay. So let's go ahead and select all of these and name or place them into the arm controls. Everything now has the proper control system. So, and that, my friends, is how to, in roughly 2.5 hours for work, finish an entire character. I hope you guys like this. This character scene file will be available for download under the description of this video. Please do leave some comments if you have any questions. Sorry if I missed anything or rushed too much. I had a lot to cover. I hope you guys like the character, and make sure to let me know if you make anything, any characters, or use character for anything. Don't use him commercially, but you can, not that he's good enough for anything, obviously, but sure is a fun little guy to kind of screw around with. It works in 4D, but I'll also export an FBX file, so if you want to use this in another sort of system, you can. Now the controls might not, like, I guess the Xpresso won't translate to another system, prod and everything. There we go, okay. And people controls won't translate as easily, but I'm not sure if they will, but you can definitely figure it out. And hope you guys liked it. Once again, I'm Sam from Finalizing.com, and thanks for watching. I'll catch you later.